We're known for a lot of things at the Salvation Army. The clothes you bring us, your old bicycle, that worn-out washing machine. But we'd like you to know that not everything you bring to us are throwaways. Come worship with us at your local Salvation Army Worship Center. All year long, for the last 100 years, we have depended on people like you to keep the work and dream of the Salvation Army alive. This year, let us give you something back. Join us next Sunday at your local Salvation Army Worship Center.
You know, I went to the Salvation Army last weekend.
Oh, yeah, I've got some things I need to drop off there, too.
No, I mean, I went there on Sunday to the Salvation Army Church.
They have a church there?
Yeah, it was really pretty interesting.
A church? I didn't know that.
There's a lot of things you don't know about us. Come worship with us at your local Salvation Army Worship Center.
Whenever disaster strikes, before the headlines break, we're where you want us to be, covering the lives of those in need from every angle. You might think we're your local news team, or that we work for the morning paper. But we're the Salvation Army, and we don't leave until the job gets done. If you could see what we've seen these past 100 years, through the fires, earthquakes, and storms, then you would see people in need of food, shelter, and comfort. And you would know what it was like to be the Salvation Army.
One army has stood side by side with American troops through 2 world wars and wherever else freedom has been defended. This army of love extends their hands and hearts from the home front to the front lines, offering support in times of conflict and healing in times of recovery. The Salvation Army. We're always here and we always care.
I've made a lot of dumb mistakes with alcohol and drugs. I lost my wife, my job, my house. I was so far down I thought I'd never get up again. But here they say that with God, there's always hope, that nothing's lost that can't be found. And the longest road you travel is the one that leads back home.
Your donated items provide rehabilitation, training, and another chance to thousands of men who want to change their lives. You're not just making a donation, you're making a difference.
What did you give everyone for Christmas last year? Someone gave a senior citizen the chance to learn new things and make new friends. Someone gave a needy family a brand new start. Someone gave a child tools to see the world in a new way. When you give to the Salvation Army this holiday season, these are the people that you help year-round. So, what are you giving everyone for Christmas this year?
Do you know what it takes to grow a child? It takes a song, a victory, an idea, a discovery, a hero. These are some of the youth programs of the oldest and most trusted social service organization in the world. Come, grow with us at your local Salvation Army.
The Salvation Army, with more than 1 million members in over 100 countries, is perhaps the largest army in the world never to brandish a weapon, unleash a nuclear arsenal, or cause harm to a fellow man. An army of the Lord, its officers, soldiers, staff, and adherents are deployed on a mission to combat suffering and despair in countries far and near, seeking only to exemplify God's love by putting human compassion into action. With the goal of offering total care to the total person, spiritually and physically, the Salvation Army provides a variety of programs and services throughout the greater Baltimore area. The phrase, heart to God, hand to man, defines the basis for the Army's work in Baltimore. While inherently motivated by a love of God, each program and service is sustained by a compassionate concern for mankind and a desire to meet human needs in His name, without regard to race, gender, or religion. At the heart of these services are its core community centers, more commonly known as churches. Each Salvation Army officer is an ordained minister and serves as pastor, church administrator, and director of all core activities. In addition to weekly worship services, core activities may also include Bible studies, men's and women's fellowship groups, music education, and youth programs. For many who have lost their jobs, homes, families, and health, the Salvation Army is often their only place of refuge.
When I first came to the Salvation Army, the booth house, I cried a lot because life was just going in the world when it seemed like everything I had accomplished had just been taken from me.
Tucked away in the heart of Baltimore's downtown district is Booth House, the Salvation Army's comprehensive emergency and transitional housing shelter for the homeless.
Salvation Army and Reflection saved my life and therefore saved my daughter's life. I have a daughter who went to treatment with me, and I think I probably would have lost her. I would probably be on the street, possibly prostituting, maybe arrested, killed. Basically, treatment gave me incentive and showed me how to live life clean and not be dependent on drugs and men. I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very grateful for all the people who helped me in my journey.
For women like Kim, the Salvation Army's Reflections program at the Clitheroe Center can mean the difference between a damaged, broken life on the streets with drugs and alcohol and a clean and sober life. Clitheroe's other substance abuse programs include detox, correctional substance abuse program, and outpatient treatment. Ruth, now a successful licensed pharmacist, was at one time seeking solid tools to help her in her alcohol recovery.
It was like a friend to me, the Salvation Army. I knew that they were there to help me. And that's important for somebody who's in recovery, to associate with a name that you know already, and when somebody says that name, what comes up in your mind is help. And with the help of Clitheroe and the treatment program, I've gotten that part of my life back. And not only have I gotten it back, I haven't had to do it alone.
Life was kind of terrible out there, you know. I ended up with my 32nd conviction, which landed me in Seward Correctional Center with a roommate with 205 years. Clitheroe gave me the opportunity, you know, to work the tools that they give, you know, to have life again. When I start working them in my life, I begin to see change, you know, slowly, but I begin to see change, and that's the bottom line. They gave me life.
been raised in St. Petersburg, and I'm in business in St. Petersburg, and I'm part of this community. And so it's important to me to see an organization that is helping people in our community and touching the needs of people in our community. And I think that the Army does a fantastic job accomplishing that. And so it's being involved with this is something that I think is really fulfilling the needs of the community and is very rewarding personally.
The Salvation Army has been part of the St. Petersburg community for nearly 90 years. Throughout its history, the Salvation Army's door has been open to a broad range of programs and human services to meet human needs. Every day in St. Petersburg, as in every part of our world, the Salvation Army's mission is consistent and clear. It is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination. In fulfilling its mission, the Salvation Army seeks out the needs of people in every community, young and old alike, men and women of all races and all creeds. And it meets those needs. The Army provides temporary relief for those without basic resources of food and shelter, help and comfort for those whose resources have been taken away by disaster, offering hope, love, and care for those without family, providing structure and guidance to the neglected and abandoned. In some ways, the Salvation Army in each community is vastly different, providing unique services based on a community's specific needs. But then again, meeting basic human needs makes every Salvation Army command very much the same. This common link is what brings the Salvation Army into more than 100 countries around the world, including programs in every zip code in America. Here in South Pinellas County, the Salvation Army has targeted programs to meet the specific needs of our area, focusing particularly on the needs of senior citizens and disadvantaged youth, developing specialized programs to meet the specific needs of these groups of our friends and neighbors. One such program found in St. Petersburg is Sally House, a unique care facility for children who, due to neglect or abuse, have been legally separated from their families. At Sally House, children ranging from toddlers to 11-year-olds find the support, love, and trust in a place of safety where they can develop confidence, self-esteem, and where they can build on the power of positive personal relationships.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Portland to the typical family, you know, mom, a dad, a brother, and a sister. And I don't remember much of my childhood. I kind of try and block it all out. Wasn't very good.
These kids tell us over and over that they feel safer on the streets than they do at home. These kids are not downtown as an alternative to being cherished at home. These kids are downtown because of the criminal abuse, abandonment, and neglect of their parents or legal guardians. These are youth who have never had a reason to trust an adult. Greenhouse is a relationship-based program because until a youth enters into a trusting relationship with an adult, their only focus is on survival right now. They don't see tomorrow, let alone a month or a year from now. And they don't believe that they can exercise any control over their own future or that they deserve a future. It is only when they have bonded into a loving, trusting relationship with an adult that they begin to start accepting that they have value and that maybe they could have a future that they can shape, And that's when they begin accessing the transition services.
Feels like a home away from home. You can be yourself here, and may not always get what you want, but you get what you need.
Greenhouse was the first program in the West Coast for homeless teens, started in 1984. Today, it is a multifaceted program whose mission is to provide the survival services that'll keep these kids alive so that we can then get them interested in the transition services, which give them the tools to exit street life. So under the survival services, it's 24-hour safety off the street, food, clothing, showers, medical clinics 3 times a week, legal clinics, very basic services that meet their basic needs, keep them somewhat out of crime. The transition services include the alternative school, which is a fully accredited high school program, and our recreation services, our chapel services, youth employment training. We also are the gateway to the homeless youth continuum in Portland, which is a model program, national model program of 4 separate homeless youth agencies that are a seamless system for taking a kid from the moment they hit the streets, assessing their needs, getting them into the right pathway depending on their age and developmental abilities, right through transition, housing, independent living, and off into complete independence from the streets.
I love Greenhouse, and I think that the Salvation Army is like really awesome for having, you know, places like this out there. And it's really cool that, you know, it's when you're homeless, you're not just stuck. You have somewhere to go, and you have resources, and you have people who are just going to care about you. I just think it's awesome. It's a beautiful thing to know that somebody cares.
Listen. Listen closely. On any given weekday on the unassuming corner at 10th and Polk Street, tucked beneath big oak trees that give Oak Cliff its name, you'll hear the sounds of possibilities and promise. Listen. And you will hear the voices of our future. The future of our community. Building a caring community, one that's strong in character and service, takes leadership. Are our children equipped to lead? Tyler Street Christian Academy believes that distinctively Christian academic study provides a firm foundation on which our young people can build their future, and thus our community's future. For over a quarter of a century, Tyler Street Christian Academy has been committed to providing a Christian education with academic excellence to its students. In 1972, the Tyler Street United Methodist Church provided the Academy's initial classrooms for its first 97 students. The school quickly expanded to include grades 7 through 12, and in 1974, the first Tyler Street Christian Academy diplomas were awarded.
As in times past, St. Louis must always build on the promise of tomorrow. But is community revitalization merely the tearing down of old buildings, the addition of more parking spaces? Isn't a community more than just bricks and traffic lights? Shouldn't people be a part of that dream too? Is there a place on our drawing board for those who have known no other home? Are there any pictures of children in our blueprints for a better tomorrow? There is a new song that is being sung in this community. It's a song of hope and renewal, of victory and new life. It is the music of the Salvation Army Harbor Light Center, and it's the voice of the broken finding restoration, the homeless finding a way home.
If I wouldn't be where I'm at today, I'd probably be dead or in jail. You know, it wasn't but two things left for me. A Harbor Light gives you a chance for a second life, you know, like a born-again Christian, and it helps a lot of people.
With the advent of welfare reform and government cutbacks, local communities are challenged to find new solutions to old problems. Today, the Salvation Army is confronted with future needs and the demands of the present. The Harbor Light Center, designed to accommodate 250 individuals, now cares for almost twice that number, taking away from the quality of care necessary for their critical treatment programs. Many things make a town or community unique and individualistic. Its people, its industries, its history. The things we have in common, the ways we differ. These things make it our home. Here we play and eat and rest our heads. Here we find peace, security, and safety. Here we feel we belong, and here we find a community that becomes our family. What unites us is our concern for each other. For what affects one of us, ultimately, affects us all. It is this compassion and support that is behind the success of the Salvation Army in Manatee County. It is this impulse in us that annually fills the Salvation Army kettles that dot the city all over town during Christmas time. It is this common concern that fills the food baskets of families and provides toys to needy children during the holiday season. But in our hearts, we know that the needs of our community go far beyond the brief stretch of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The needs of our community are year-long, and for this reason, the work of the Salvation Army goes on all year long as well. Although visible only during the winter holidays, the Salvation Army bell rings for the unfortunate and disadvantaged throughout the year in services and programs all over the county. The child care program for low-income families, the only one of its kind in the area, currently has a waiting list of 70 children. The Men's Lodge, due to lack of beds, regularly turn away 7 to 10 men nightly. On cold February nights, the number of those who come for shelter increases by as much as 500%. And with the growing trend towards struggling single-parent families, the need for a family lodge is long overdue. This year, a capital expansion campaign to support the growing present and future needs of Manatee County will be conducted. The campaign will improve funds to the present programs and provide facilities for newer, more diverse and cost-effective services. The new complex will build on the present location downtown to remain at the center of the community the Salvation Army serves. The new complex will include a larger men's lodge and dining hall, able to house up to 50 men and feed 125 people at a time. A new family lodge will accommodate 6 single-parent families, and a modern and improved administration building will enable the Salvation Army to expand their service base to an even larger number of individuals. Other projected programs include innovative programs for abused and neglected children, and a program to assist struggling families to get a new start.
All right, folks, close, really, really close. Watch again. Everybody step up. All right, everybody, it's wrist, arm, contact, wrist, arm, contact, and follow through. Yeah, keep your head up. Yeah, see, if you're looking down here, ball's up there, not gonna hit it, are we? No. All right, it's wrist, arm, contact, follow through. Everybody, try it again. Come on.
How's your youngest, Bob? Just fine. They came down for the weekend. They left yesterday. Boy, I sure hated to see those little ones go.
Oh, 3 days is enough for me. Oh, I love the grandkids, but 3 days is enough for me.
Good to see him come, good to see him go.
How many you got now, Bob?
Almost 4. They get to adding up.
And they grow like weeds.
Yeah, I have to get Jamie to redo my will every couple of years or so now.
You make it too complicated. The government's made provisions for that.
I thought that was the way the government got their money, by complicating things.
Grandchildren, money, the government. That's the way things generally go on these little get-togethers, and it'll continue that way for the rest of the afternoon. Now, sooner or later, we start talking about wills, who will get what after we're gone. And that's when things really get interesting. You see, everybody here is different. Everyone's got their own ideas of how things are. You get a lot of opinions, but you don't hear too much correct information. Sometimes peace of mind is nothing more than a good night's sleep. As we approach April 15th each year, a good night's sleep isn't always so easy to come by. And no matter how well you've planned your finances over the years, it's still a constant struggle to provide for your spouse and your loved ones and the charity you and your wife have always hoped to contribute to. Because your donations are so vital to the work of the Salvation Army and other charities, the Charitable Remainder Trust has been established by Congress to provide you with ways to reach your own personal objectives without compromising your dreams of helping others. With the Charitable Remainder Trust, when you transfer money, securities, or other properties to a trustee, it is held in a trust and managed as a separate fund. The Salvation Army is equipped to serve in this capacity for those individuals wishing to support its work. You work with the trustee to agree on what dollar amount or percentage you wish to receive from the trust as your annual income. The Salvation Army, or other trustee whom you may choose, will provide your trust with professional financial management, relieving you of the burden of managing your assets, and then simply supplying you with the detailed tax information you need for your records. Because the trust is irrevocable, you may also benefit from special tax advantages. All of the details can be worked out with your Salvation Army planned giving representative. It's like they say, in more ways than one, the Salvation Army can help you sleep a little better.